Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Alicia Dreaming and today I'm doing a review of Jurassic World Dominion. Oh my gosh. I actually saw a review for Jurassic World Dominion because I wasn't sure if I wanted to see it in theaters. Because with gas prices going up, food prices going up, like I just need to make sounder decisions financially speaking. So I watched a review by Amanda the Jedi, and I was convinced I would like it because generally we have very similar views. But I also found some stuff that she didn't cover, so I'm gonna try to cover that pretty quickly because we also Amanda the Jedi um, didn't like the second Jurassic World, and I hated it. Oh God, I hated it. I felt like um, I felt like it was unnecessary to kill off all those gentle dinosaurs, like the long necks, like the Man of the Jedi calls it woo woo noises when they're dying and the fire and like the volcanoes exploding, you know. But yeah, like I couldn't stand that. It made me hate the movie so much. I was like, no, I did not come to see dinosaurs, gentle dinosaurs, being burned alive, and so anyways, I just did not like that one. But this one, I have to talk about the Monsanto vibes is the title of this article. Um thagdaily.com. Okay, so like the title is Brace Yourself for Monsanto Vibes in Jurassic World Dominion. Um so like I'm just going to read some of the article. Um and it's talking, obviously this is Ag Daily. This is a very specific type of niche audience. Um and the intent of, okay, so like just I'm just gonna read you a little bit so you can, because they're way better at describing the similarities because I'm gonna get it wrong. I know I'm gonna get it wrong if I try to do it by myself. So okay, the intent of Jurassic World Dominion to connect the corrupt actions of biosyngenetics to the ominous perceptions people had of Monsanto's, and in many cases now of Bayer, could not be more apparent. I didn't know the Bayer part. I skimmed the article the first time. The public had long seen Monsanto as a greedy corporation that was using genetics and other sciences to destroy our health and livelihoods more often than helping them. While that wasn't the truth in the real world, this is definitely how things develop for Biosyn in the film. Now, I feel like this is a very biased sentence. I've done some deep digging on Monsanto and stuff, and so like I I'm just reading. I skimmed the first paragraph when I was looking for similarities, but like I really do think Monsanto is like Biosyn. I am not like joking at all. So like, okay, so I'm just gonna read the parts I'm gonna go through this and talk about what I agree with and what I don't agree with. Okay, if you've seen the trailer, you know that dinosaurs now live alongside humans, but Biosyn has been contracted to collect as many of the creatures as possible and relocate them to the company's isolated scientific corner of the world. It's supposed to be the Dolomite Mountains in Italy. Biosyn is a genetics company which dabbles primarily in pharmaceuticals and agriculture science. You can quickly see where this is going. We soon learn that hordes of giant locusts about the size of a house cat with signs of ancient DNA are gobbling up crops from Iowa to Texas, creating a food crisis across the U.S. They're not only eating humans' food, but also livestock food. It's a central storyline in the movie, but food security isn't always the most dynamic on screen, so Dominion's dinosaur action takes center stage, even as the idea of the human extinction is uttered more than once. Okay. In one telling scene about the kind of threat the locust and by extension corporate influence is alleged to usher in, and which brings the Monsanto connection home, these giant locusts eat the field of an independent farmer but don't touch the crops grown with Biosyn seed. In this case, Biosyn and its genetics program become becomes both the aggressor and the savior. And that right there plays into real world activists' claim that companies like Monsanto had tried to control the world's food supply through genetic engineering. The idea being that if everything we consume is Roundup ready, then companies such as Monsanto would be at the top of the food chain, so to speak. Society would be unable to function without the genetic technology. I'm not the only one to recognize that the filmmakers were implying about the motivations of genetically driven corporations. The movie review from Variety states the greatest threat facing humankind and dominion is devastating swarms of giant locusts resurrected by the Monsanto-like Biosyn Corporation. So, like, they're quoting Variety, they're quoting Forbes, and I guess the Forbes one said the specific plot eventually involves the diabolical perversion of science, an evil hybrid of Steve Jobs and Elon Musk using modified locusts to wipe out crops that don't use not Monsanto beans, which seems disconnected from the new normal. Okay, so I am not one of those people that avoids GMO, genetically engineered, modified, or organisms. I am not like afraid of frankenfoods and stuff, but I really think this site is very biased, and I didn't realize that before. I just picked it up because of the title. And I've done my homework on Monsanto. It's been in the back of my mind for years. It's like, it's not just how the article talks about that bit of how Monsanto has its seeds and stuff Roundup ready. It's also the fact that Monsanto takes independent farmers to court saying that they're growing their seeds. They are patenting seeds, and like, it's not, I honestly think that the courts are behind the times, and you shouldn't be able to patent genes like that, like genetic organisms like that. I mean, because then the next step is cloning, and they'll be like, well, we can clone because we patented this gene, and this is our genetic property. And like, I know that part of my reasoning for this is kind of like Orphan Black and how they were genetically engineered and property and stuff. But I don't like this article at all. But I'm going to keep going with my review. Okay. Okay, so like they keep going and saying the kicker is if you can get past this undertone of food production, fear-mongering, Jurassic World Dominion is a tense and thrilling film that should appeal to both the Jurassic Park and the Jurassic World generations. Okay, so I am going to go back to my review. My script. So yeah, I am going to try to talk about that further on my blog, on my Tumblr, because like, that's ridiculous. I mean, I could say, it's been a while since I've found relevant, unbiased research about the very real problems with Monsanto, and I'm not going to rely obviously on Ag Daily. But, so going back to the plot of the movie, Jurassic World Dominion, okay, so they did have messy bits, like with the second Jurassic World, the whole Lockwood retcon, which I'm pretty sure is what it was, because I don't remember Lockwood being mentioned in the original Jurassic Park movies. But regardless, Claire and Owen made good parents to Maisie. And I really like the diversity, the racial diversity of this entry. I love the actor from Archive 81. I have to look up his name. I'll put up his name right here. And the dude from Lupin, also put up his name over here. They were very fun to see, and more than make up for supporting Chris Pratt. I know I said it the other way. I'll spell it out right here. Because I don't like Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt. I will link a video here about why he's a not great dude. Like, he's got some questionable connections. And, like, mainly Hillsong, but also other stuff. And it's by, I think, Midwest Bimbo. I think that's who the video is by. But, like, yeah, just check out this video on why I don't like Chris Pratt. Okay, so I love the nostalgia of seeing the original trio in Dominion. That was fantastic. They're all looking good. I mean, obviously, Laura Dern was like in her 20s when she made the first film, and now she's like 55. But yeah, Jeff Goldblum is looking great. I know he's in probably his late 60s, maybe early 70s. I'm not sure. I haven't looked up his age lately. But the other dude, I forgot his name. I really should know his name. But they all were looking good. They were healthy. It's good to see them. They probably had work done, but that's okay. I liked the way it was a good popcorn film. I would give them the movie a 4 out of 5 because it connected the craziness of the second film and tied it up neatly with the first original films, which is something that Star Wars very much failed to do in the sequel trilogy. They could not mesh. There was no unifying vision. There was no just the whole Palpatine coming back was not the way to harken back to the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. It was not the way to go about it. But anyways, aside from the racial diversity, B.D. Wong was also in it, and he gets a redemption arc. I can't remember his name in the movie, but he gets a whole redemption arc, and I really appreciated that because he was villainized in the Jurassic World and the sequel, the second Jurassic World. I don't know if he was villainized in that one, but I know he was villainized in Jurassic World, which I think is unfair. Because he was just working for Hammond. It's not like it was his idea to resurrect dinosaurs. I got sapphic vibes from the pilot lady. I can't remember her name. Because she says, yeah, I like redheads too. Like, there's lots more female redheads. Because a lot of women dye their hair red. And men don't really dye their hair red. I mean, there are... Obviously, I even went to school with two male redheads. But, yeah, you just don't see as many male redheads because they don't dye their hair as much, you know? But I don't know, it's kind of flimsy. I'm gonna stick to it because we definitely needed some queer rep. Also the one lady from the second movie, I can't remember her name, but she was in Cowboy Bebop. And she's like got a little tiny scene in Dominion. I can't remember her name. But anyways, the fandom wanted to make her sapphic. So I think Jurassic World writers, the Jurassic World Dominion writers knew that there was a fandom for sapphic ladies. And that's why they gave us sapphic vibes in the pilot lady. So, but I mean, yeah, in general, it was really great because we had B.D. Wong, Lupin guy, Archive 81 guy. Okay, so Lupin and Archive 81 guy are both black. There's a black lady in the pilot, and yeah, it did a much better job with diversity than I have been seeing in this movie. Oh, and there's that one character. Oh, I can't remember what his name was. He works for the CIA now in Jurassic World Dominion. But yeah, he was in the second movie, and I thought it was nice to bring him back, even for the little bit that he was in it. But I really enjoyed the movie. I'm gonna give it a solid 4 out of 5. I would definitely rewatch. And yeah, let me know what you thought. I went on a whole little side tangent on that stupid article by Ag Daily, which, if you want the link, it's going to be in the description. And I will probably show some of the article in the video as I'm editing. But yeah, I'll probably have to do a whole video on Monsanto and why it's not like just activists and like the eco boogeyman, like the article calls them. You know, like we're not making Monsanto out to be an eco boogeyman. They are generally a bad corporation. Okay. So, anyways, yeah, that's my review. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.